Today I'm here with Bronson Kaufusi. If you don't know who he is so awesome. In fact, I was just saying this will be my dad's favorite podcast because he's a big BYU fan, knows all the stats of all the players. Same with my husband. He's a huge BYU fan too. And you know my husband, Sean.
Yep.
But Bronson was a star football and basketball player at BYU. He also went on to play for 7 years in the NFL for the Ravens, the Jets, and the Packers. And like I said, he's still alive, which is a blessing. I don't know how I don't know how anyone comes out without like no brain injuries or anything, you know, like
everyone probably has something.
But you know what though? I bet you didn't take as many hard hits as other people because you're so big. But I guess they're all big. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But more importantly, he just had his third baby. So now he's got 3 kids, ages 5 and under.
Mm-hmm.
Your son just turned 5.
Yep.
And I was saying all these compliments before about his wife. Like, she should know this. I think she's amazing. I've only met her twice, and I was like, man, that girl's so tough. Like, I saw her big and pregnant and carrying 2 kids around, and she just acted like it was just a random Wednesday and no complaints. Like, and she's beautiful. And anyway, you guys are a great family.
Thanks.
And he also works at my friend's fund. He's also incredibly smart. Okay, you know what? We didn't say this before, but I'm going to say this because sometimes people, I think because of stereotypes, they think brain versus brawn. You graduated in statistics.
Yeah.
That is known at BYU, not necessarily other schools, but at BYU is known as like, it's a weeder class. It's the class they use to weed people out because it's so hard. They purposefully make it really, really hard, and you majored in it. I know because I took that class and I shed some tears in that class.
No, it's a tough class.
And I'm a math person. Like, I did several years ahead all throughout high school and
it's
stuff.
Half math,
and
that's why. It's not really
I know.
true.
I know. I was like, I thought I was good in math, and that class was so hard. So he's also very smart, working for a big fund and doing amazing and cool things. But we were just talking about his mom is the mayor of Provo. Yeah. She's also doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, like, how does someone like become accomplished like this? Because sometimes people will look at someone who's done these cool things that are, you know, in a dream life of someone playing in the NFL and stuff, and they think you're just kind of handed this. And I jokingly had asked him, was there any hard work involved? And you said your mom made you do what?
Yeah, she made me do a lot of chores growing up. My mom and my dad, I feel like when people are like, man, it's crazy because I have 4 other siblings. We all played college sports.
Was it all boys? I can't remember.
3 boys and 2 girls.
3 boys and 2 girls.
So
dang, 5 kids.
Yeah, 5 kids, and we're all like 18 months apart. And we all played sports, and we made it into college, which was awesome. But like, I would say like the number one characteristic was, you know, they taught us, you know, how to work hard, how to, you know, it's important that everything you do your best, you put your max effort into it. And I loved that about my mom and dad is, you know, they let us struggle. Like they let us, you know, figure it out. We always would do our chores. I remember like on the weekend, we couldn't go hang out with our friends until all our chores were done. Toilet scrub, vacuum, dusting, dog poop, all the stuff, you know, you do out of home. And then we always worked too. So playing a football game on Friday night, Saturday night, I'm at the local Days Market from 5 to midnight working, you know, or cutting down trees, doing lawns.
And my guess is you were probably, when you were in high school, you probably were one of the star players, I'm assuming, right? I mean, you can be humble. You can admit it.
I played well.
Because I'm not from Provo, but I bet if I asked anyone around here that they would say your name and know that you were really good. But your parents still made you work. They didn't just like.
They still make me work. They still to this day. I know.
I mean, they still do to this day.
Like, you can help us do some work at the house. I'm like, yeah, I'll come over and help do the garden and stuff.
And we were just talking about this because I don't know if it was like, I watched that's what it was. I was watching something. There was a reel where this mom, she was being so shamed online because she doesn't let her kids have a phone more than an hour a day. I don't let my kids have a phone at all. So, and anyway, I guess in the comments, people were saying like, this mom is barbaric, this mom, like all this stuff. And I was like, man, I shouldn't say what I do. And I was just telling Bronson, like, my kids, they can't play or watch TV or do anything until they practice piano 30 minutes. Their rooms are clean and vacuumed, bathrooms all scrubbed, toilets included, everything like that.
Great. I like this.
Read pages of
scripture. Keep it going.
Yeah, there's 5 things. I also read pages of scripture and stuff, and then help me with one thing. You know, so whether it's go wash the windows or play with your little brother or something like that. And then they can go do things. And then if it's TV, they can watch TV for 30 minutes and then that's it.
Yeah. I
But
like
I
that.
mean, I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but you've got kids now
Yeah.
and they're not old enough to like really, to see the temptations and stuff in school and with other peers. But don't you think you want to like do everything you can to give them a successful future and by not handing it to them?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because
Right?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the characteristics that you learn at home, that are cultivated at home, they transition into school, work, business, all these things. And so, for me, being able to learn at home how to work hard, how, you reap what you sow, how, you have to be able to, make it through adversity and push through it. And I learned that at home. And then sports, you learn it at sports, and you learn it at school when you fail that test, and you got to keep
Yeah.
going, figuring it out. And yeah, I think it's so key that those lessons are taught at home, because when they're taught at home, it makes it so you don't have to go learn it outside the home.
Yeah.
Where it'd probably
And
be,
just figure it
yeah,
out.
probably be better to learn it with your
Parents who
parents
love
and
you.
siblings
Yeah.
around you, and
Definitely.
yeah.
So I kind of started with this and trailed off a little bit, sorry, but a lot of the times, and especially in this generation, and I hate saying that, I feel so old, but in this generation, like I feel like so many people, it's like they want to be a victim. And I say that with compassion because I know there are some people who truly, they are victimized in some ways, but it's like there's this victim hierarchy where people like want to be more of a victim than the next person. And they look at someone like you who, you got to play in the NFL and now you get to work for this amazing firm. And they kind of think that maybe it was handed to you. What do you say to that?
Oh man, that is no, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And when that's why I love when athletes and people that in the world and on like social media, they talk about the things that they struggled with and the
Yeah.
hardship, and because no one got to where they were at without struggle and hardship and
Mm.
challenge and setbacks. And so for me, I just I know. Like I know what it took. I knew I was sacrificing a lot more than a lot of other people around me as I was coming up. And then, you know, I would say there's some things that they just you can't get around. And when you come to performance, that's why I love math. Because
Yeah.
performance, math, numbers,
So that's a
the
math
numbers don't
thing.
lie.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
And so I mean, but that's just kind of that's the outcome, when really the task, like the task that you do, the work that you put in, that's the process. So
Yeah.
as an athlete, like in the sports realm, every day you're doing everything you can to maximize, um, the ability to play your sport at a high level. So you're learning new skills, you're performing different tasks. Everything matters: sleep,
And
food,
it's years of work to get to
everything.
that point.
A day in, day out,
You
years,
didn't just
years,
decide to join the
years.
NFL. Like,
Yeah, it takes, yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of pain,
yeah.
in that process, and in everyone's process. That's the thing
Yeah. Yeah.
about it, is like you're always gonna find pain in every single person's process. So,
Yeah.
and for me, like when people, like, to answer your question, it's like you almost like think, okay, like, do you really want to know? Because it's like there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of progress at the same time, but it's I mean, years to
Yeah.
be able to get to the
Every day.
NFL, and you're competing at such a high level against the top athletes in the world, almost like.
Yeah.
And so you have to, it takes a lot. It just takes a lot of preparation. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's little things that separate yourself in such a high competitive environment, where and you learn
What are
about it in
those
high
little
school.
things that separate you?
I would say, number one is mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the chores,
Mm-hmm.
learning about that. But if, because everyone's big, everyone's fast. Every level you go up,
Yeah.
everyone's about the same height, weight, strength, all those things.
Yeah.
You go to the NFL, now it's like non-existent.
Yeah.
Everyone's a beast now.
That's
Everyone's
so
everyone's
intimidating.
fast. Everyone's strong. And there's some guys that have like 5 or 6 kids that are in the locker room that are that like you go in there and you're a rookie, and they're dads, and
Yeah.
you're playing against grown men. And so being able to, so how do you separate yourself? Well, you separate yourself through being able to be disciplined day in, day out. Like I'm gonna go to bed on time. I'm gonna make the right choices when it comes to food and the different hydration, drinks and all these things, timing it correctly. I'm gonna watch more film. I'm gonna help my teammates because they ask for help. There's this little things, but it's all in your decision making, which kind of goes back to your mentality. The mentality side of the game, the mental game is truly where you separate yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see that because
Making
everyone
that
thinks
sacrifice.
yeah. Can you sacrifice a little bit more than, you know, than the guy next to you, and where every day you're competing against each other for that one spot, and there's like 5 of you going for that one spot, and so you have to be at your best every single day. You have to play on the edge, not go over the edge, but play at the edge of, how fast can you run, how hard can you hit. Everything is at the max every single rep, and so you get kind of used to it as an NFL player, professional athlete.
I have a question. This is personal, so you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah.
What role was there a role that God played in any of this for you? Like, did you have, I mean, you can answer it however you want, but I just was wondering, like, did you start your day with prayer? Did you ask, hey, please help me to get to this next level, or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say, for me, I would say there was a moment. I don't know if it's a moment or a time, but for a while I never really thought God was interested in sports. I was like, is God really interested in the sport? Is he, like, does he care? And I was like, it kind of hit me one day, like, well, he cares about me, so he knows that I care about this sport, and I'm sure he cares about, the different characteristics that I'm learning and the things that sports brings on that side. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, he's a God that cares about the individual. So he does care about me and what I want, what I care about, and he wants me to do my best.
Yeah.
And so for me, I mean, God's been in the journey the entire time, even when I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Because, and this is what's cool, I think, is, God wants to bless us and help us. And as an athlete and a believer, he's gonna give you the opportunity to share his message and his words. And as an athlete, you get the platform. Like, that's part of the game. Like, you get
It's
a
like,
platform.
what do you do with it?
Yeah, what do you do with it? Are you gonna, give the glory to God? Are you gonna use it to further his mission? And when you do that, more opportunities come. And even when things don't go your way as an athlete, you can still see God's hand in it. And so I think for me, I always had that attitude. I had a different attitude towards the sport because I had really good parents that taught me it's not my identity.
Yeah.
I'm way more than that.
I love that.
I'm a son of God, and football is just something there that I love to do. It's like this much of my life, right?
Yeah.
But it's important in a sense of, if I'm going to do it, I better do it at my, my best, or the best I can do it. And then if that platform comes, okay, I should be giving back. I should be going and visiting schools, people in hospitals. When those opportunities come to you as an athlete, am I saying yes or no?
Yeah.
And I think God cares about if you say yes or no.
Well, like you said yes to doing this podcast.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
It's really nice of you.
Yeah.
I love that you said your parents taught you that didn't define you. And actually you'd said that before too. And that really made me think, because you'd posted something recently that I never thought of, because, I mean, I was an athlete in the sense I did, cheer and stuff like that. But after high school, it wasn't, there's no cheer NFL. You know what I mean? Like maybe there is now. Things are so different. But anyway, you posted something that made me think, like, you were saying that sometimes these athletes that go so far, it defines them so much that they don't know what to do after that. They've lost their sense of identity when it's gone. And you've been kind of working with them a little bit. Am I right? Like,
yeah.
So how do you help someone like that?
Yeah. You know what? It's really interesting because everything you've done your entire life, and you know what you're good at as an athlete. I can tell you, as a defensive end, I'm good at this, this, and this. As a tight end, I'm good at this. As a basketball player, when you sit down with an athlete, they know what they're good at.
Yeah.
Away from the game, you ask them, and they can't answer you. And
so sad.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like sadness because there's a gap there, and there's fear, and it's just because they just don't know, and so they just need a little bit of direction. You kind of shed a light on, hey, the key thing is to just not stay stagnant.
Yeah.
And like, if you have these athletes that are, they're used to being high performers every day and everything just stops. It's like, what do I do? And it's like, okay, it's just like you're a rookie all over again, or a freshman in high school all over again, freshman in college. You just got to go. Let's just see, okay, let's see what you're passionate about. Let's see, let's go to this conference, or let's go to this get together, or maybe it's like, well, as an athlete, I'm scared to go to that because I don't even know how to talk to someone.
Oh yeah, because you're so good in one area.
Because everyone comes to me usually.
Yeah.
Everyone approaches me usually. Like, and
I didn't even think about that.
Everything's done for me too. My food set up, where I sleep, where I work out, where I have a schedule.
Jeez.
Everything, my schedule's made for me.
Wow.
So there's all these things that go into, athlete transition. And so my goal, right, and it goes back to, helping athletes is, I want them to be prepared, building skills outside of the game while they're in the game.
Yeah.
So in the off seasons, because that's what I did. I had this unique experience where I got to meet incredible people that were willing to teach me about all these different things I didn't even know about, like investing. I didn't grow up investing. I didn't grow up with like really a lot of money. Like I had to work if I wanted to go to the movies, I had to go earn the money to go to the movies. And so so
go to Days Market.
Go to Days Market. Yeah. I'm out there doing everything I can, earn some money just to go have some fun. But the key was I had the desire to. And so sometimes with the athletes, sometimes it's, they're not really curious enough yet.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of get a little bit like that, and the antennas go off, because I don't want them to get stagnant. So I want to, sometimes it's just build the curiosity, look at different examples of people that are athletes that have done a great job away from the field while they're playing.
Because they don't know when they're going to be injured permanently, or
you do not know.
Yeah,
that was me. I got hurt my rookie year, and I was out. And they told me I was going to be done, and I thought I was going to be done. So,
but you did 7 years.
Yeah, I made it back. Yeah, somehow,
Jeez.
some way. But it's tough. But yeah, I just love helping athletes, because when they see the opportunity outside of their sport, they are a force for good. Because you have to remember, when the athlete, when they make it to the NFL, you go back to their college and they're a pretty big fish usually at their college. But if you go back to their neighborhood in high school, they're even a bigger fish.
Oh yeah, so they're
the guy. And so if you can teach them, financial literacy, about, charitable donations, about giving back, building the community, and they go back and they do that, and they have that vision of, whoa, I can affect a lot of people. They go back to their communities and they can change hundreds of thousands of lives just because people hold them at a different level of, they just look up to them.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was trying to help them see, hey, while you're playing, you have this ability, and it's important to go out and just meet people, talk to people, see what people are doing, because football and every player, no one likes to hear it, but it's not going to last forever. Like you will, I promise, you will hang it up. Even Tom Brady hung it up.
Yeah.
You will hang it up, and you're going to need something to go for. And those athletes, they like reaching goals. So they need the next goal. You
got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And I love that you focus a lot on what are we using our platforms for, whether it's you're an athlete or otherwise. Like, what are we using what we've been given? How are we using it? What are we doing to help others, and what legacy are we leaving? We never know when it's our time to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's to leave football or leave Earth, I don't know. You just never know. Like, what are we doing?
What have you left behind? Like, what have people, and some people think, I can't leave anything behind. Like, I'm like, no. Every person that comes on this earth will leave a legacy, and they will leave a lasting impression upon at least one person. And that one person could change the world. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You are leaving a legacy. You're living your legacy right now, and you're going to leave it. So, it's important to kind of have that moment where it's like, wow, I'm actually changing lives. Like, and then once people see that, it's like, oh, okay, I think I can do a little bit more. I think I can give a little bit more. I think I can ask questions differently, ask more questions, ask for help, stuff like that.
Those are powerful words.
Yeah.
Do you mind, just to wrap it up, do you mind just sharing, and I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't ask you to think of any time. So if you need a second, you can take it. But what miracles have you seen in your life?
Oh man. Ooh, too
I know
many.
there's
No.
probably a lot. I know there's probably a lot.
Oh man, so many. Honestly, um, I mean, throughout my entire life, I've seen so many. Um, but I think like when it comes to, I mean, football even,
Yeah.
I've seen so many, just with, I've been injured a lot.
Yeah.
I've been hurt a lot. My senior year in high school, I tore my ACL,
Which I've
and
heard is super painful.
super painful. It was my senior year. I was supposed to go playing the All American game, the Under Armour one. I was supposed to go in basketball too. I was supposed to have this incredible basketball season. All these things lined up, and up to that point, I mean, football and sports, that was it. And for me, I remember going through that injury, and at first I thought, man, this is terrible. Like, I cannot believe this happened to me. Like, what? I couldn't believe it. So my world definitely got hit right there. But the miracle was, okay, what do I get to do with this time? And because a big part of my life, that time in my day was a lot of sports. That time just changed. It was open. And so for me, I started to use that time for, going and I used to go out with like the local missionaries over here. I used to do a lot of stuff at church. I used to help a lot of people in my neighborhood. And, for me, I was preparing because when I graduated high school, I was going to go on a mission. So I took the energy, the time that I had, and I put it into that preparation. So when I did graduate high school and I went out on a 2-year mission, I served in New Zealand, and
You probably fit right in
I
there,
fit
huh?
right in. I fit right in. Yeah, sports, Polynesian, it was great. But that was the blessing. Like I understood from that experience that adversity is a blessing, and that's a miracle because now I don't care what hits me, storm, rain, I don't care. I know it's the opportunity to grow. So that's why when I got hurt in the NFL, it's an opportunity to grow. It's, it could be raining outside. It's a great day. And so
Yeah.
being able to understand that, that was a miracle. And for me, in a time when it was pretty dark and lonely, I, I saw that light, and I saw really, that change of, heart and mind, where wow, I get to be here today. I get to do this today. And so that was a huge miracle for me.
I love that. I love that answer so much. And you exude that. You really do. Like, anyone who knows Bronson knows that he is just always smiling. He's always happy and just so grateful. I love that. You're such a great example. And I'm grateful to know you, but I'm also grateful that you use this platform that you've been given to do good things. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.